Today the biggest news comes from Ukraine. Here Russia assumed Ukrainian tactical aviation would remain constrained by aircraft shortages and electronic warfare. However, the Polish Mig-29 pipeline is turning that constraint into sustained precision pressure on Russian frontline nodes. In late 2025, Warsaw publicly discussed the release of another 6 to 8 Mig-29 fighters being retired from Polish service. This follows Poland's 2023 transfer of 14 Mig-29s to Ukraine. This established a working pipeline for spare parts, maintenance and documentation rather than a one-off donation. These jets can enter service almost immediately because Ukraine already operates the Mig-29 and maintains trained pilots and ground crews, eliminating conversion delays. The aircraft are not raw airframes either. Polish and Ukrainian modification programs have already adapted them to use Western precision-guided munitions, with pylons, wiring and avionics interfaces already in place. As Ukrainian pilots are already trained on the Mig-29, Ukraine can start conducting combat operations almost instantly. Along the northern border, Ukrainian Mig-29s are used to stop Russian raids before they begin, forcing Russia to spread reserves along the border instead of concentrating them for offensive action. Ukrainian intelligence identifies Russian force concentrations while they are still gathered for attacks or briefings, most often through operational security failures such as active phone signals, visible antennas, or repeated vehicle movements to the same house. Here, geolocated footage shows a single AASM Hammer bomb striking a house where Russian infantry had assembled alongside a command post. The strike collapses the building in one hit, killing the gathered personnel and cancelling the raid before the unit can move toward the border. Around Pokrovsk, Russian attacks also depend on gathering large groups of assault troops in one place. However, that only works while the troops are still assembled. Once they spread out into trenches and ruined buildings, they stop being a single worthwhile target. Ukrainian airstrikes focus on this brief window, hitting assembly buildings and nearby infrastructure before the troops move out. One strike can wipe out an entire assault group, forcing Russia to start over and costing them time and momentum. On the flanks, Russian forces try to encircle the town by moving assault units along secondary roads, but Ukrainian airstrikes target these roads to slow movement, where a massive crater leaves no way around. These movements are detected when vehicles repeatedly move through the same junctions and feeder roads, creating clear patterns that are picked up by Ukrainian drones. Geolocated strike footage shows precision bombs hitting contested approach routes, forcing Russian units onto longer, more exposed detours, and breaking the timing needed for a coordinated encirclement. Especially at Pokrovsk, Russian drone teams are a critical weak point for Ukraine, because they provide battlefield visibility, guide artillery fire, and conduct FPV attacks, making them priority targets for Ukrainian Mig-29 strikes. These operators require months of training under combat conditions, so when drone control sites are hit, Russia loses skills it cannot quickly replace. While new crews can be recruited, the loss of experienced operators forces continuous recruitment and steadily reduces overall effectiveness. Near Uspeniivka, Russian forces needed speed after capturing the settlement, because only rapid movement could turn that gain into a breakthrough. To achieve this, they had to move mechanized units across intact bridges and hardened roads, as the surrounding terrain had already turned into deep mud. Ukrainian Mig-29s struck those key crossings, stopping the advance and forcing Russian troops to push forward slowly through the mud, largely on foot, while vehicles struggled to keep up. Near Kamensk and Stepnohersk, Russian forces are trying to move close enough to bring their FPV operators within launch range of the city of Zaporizhia. Achieving this would allow them to strike deeper into Ukrainian rear areas and disrupt civilian life far beyond the front line. Instead, they are running into a barrage of Ukrainian airstrikes, with Mig-29 fighter jets hitting foothold shelters and staging points as soon as they appear. The geolocated footage shows bombs released from standoff range, collapsing buildings before Russian units can dig in, illustrating how air power is being used to stop the threat before it reaches the city. Overall, Poland's Mig-29 pipeline matters, because it gives Ukraine real combat power rather than additional aircraft that exist only on paper. Each extra jet allows Ukraine to repeatedly strike the same Russian weak points, especially the brief moments when troops, commanders, drones and equipment are gathered together before an attack. By using familiar aircraft paired with modern guidance kits, Ukraine can eliminate assault groups, command posts and drone control sites in single precise strike. If more Polish jets arrive on schedule, Russia's force groupings near the front line will continue to be reduced to rubble. Lastly, our New Year sale is coming to an end. So take advantage of our massive 60% New Year discount to unlock full access to our interactive map and exclusive strategic updates. Starting from just $3.99, you will gain access to the uncensored combat footage that we use in every report, as well as all significant events analysis that go far beyond what we can include in our short daily videos. Thirdly, you will unlock our Timeline Builder tool, the world's first artificial intelligence-powered system designed to connect the dots between the news in real time. Fourth, and most importantly, you will unlock our advanced news analysis tools, giving you comprehensive insights into the news cycle, detailed story sentiment breakdowns, and trend analysis to reveal the most important themes and events. And last but not least, you will gain access to all our exclusive strategic updates about the war in Ukraine. If you wanted to support our efforts but haven't had the chance, now is the perfect time to jump in and make a real difference. So check out the link in the description to become an exclusive member of our community. I truly appreciate everyone who stepped up to join us. Your support means the world to us.